weaknesses of the computer? What is it not doing very well?
Before the match, I will tell you that it's not flexible. Now I doubt. This machine is obviously flexible. It knows how to change priorities even during the game. There is obviously one big disadvantage of machine, but obviously it also looks to be overcome in the match, that machine has a limit of the calculation, and at the end of this calculation it has to make evaluation. Now, we discovered that Deep Blue can make unbelievable evaluations of positions 20 move deep, 40 ply. Now, interesting, one machine's problem was discovered in game one, which is machine doesn't understand positions with a material advantage or disadvantage, and if the implications are very long. Now, in game one, Deep Blue recognized it too late.
I'd like to close this press conference. I'd like to thank those that participated. We have an audience downstairs. The participants are not planning to come downstairs, but I'd like to thank them for their participation over the afternoon. I myself thank everybody that's involved at this point, and hope to see everybody on stage one more time next year.
Well, obviously this is their 1-1, if you will. I think it's going to be in IBM's interest to see a third. I like the things that Gary was saying there, that he'd like to see Deep Blue tested against other top grandmasters. Gary's already predicted the sore loser newspaper articles, but I think that he really carried the point far too far, that he was there with the intervention and so on. I mean, the fact of the matter is this is an extraordinary computer, and it played very well, and it had a lot of problems that Gary couldn't solve the riddle. Finally, I was a little bit disturbed by what Gary was saying there about IBM. I just want to say again for myself, this is some of the most exciting chess I saw. I think IBM's a terrific sponsor, and please, once again, join with me. That was great. They have every right to sponsor a match, and they should.
Mike, what are your impressions of the press conference?
Well, I'd like to make some obvious comments. Gary implied that there might be some cheating. Can I say that word? Is that too strong? But think about it. Is it in IBM's interest to cheat at something like this? No, I don't think so. I think what was happening here is something Gary couldn't explain was in the machine. And because he couldn't explain it, he said, there must be something funny going on. I think there are explanations. I think that I hinted at them when I said that the computer had some extreme flexibility with king safety, that if there is a match next year, I hope there is, that he will become aware of some of these considerations and try to deal with them in other ways.
Well, this match has been rich with stories. The controversy will not end. Last year's match 4-2 in Kasparov's favor. This year 3.5, 2.5 in Deep Blue's favor. And we will see, I'm sure, more of the same. It has indeed been exciting. We thank you all for joining us. And we hope again that this is not a match about human versus machine. It is a match that will answer some basic questions that help us to understand our world a bit better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Who? Hold on. Time out. Gary's coming. Gary might be coming. No. There's a possibility that he may be headed downstairs, so we don't want to just rush off stage. I'll go check it out. We have been informed. Yaz will scout that idea out. What? Never ends. It's a surprise, one surprise after another. To be clear, it only remains a possibility at this moment. It only remains a possibility. I beg your pardon, we now have confirmation that IBM's team, IBM's Blue team will be appearing on stage. Will be joining us shortly. And Kasparov, we will see if there's any word of Kasparov, but I doubt
Kasparov will actually come, but the Deep Blue team will be here shortly.
Josh, is that right?
Just the IBM team. Just the IBM team will be coming shortly, and we'll allow you to ask them some questions.
They really are the first U.S. champion in chess for quite a while. They're the first U.S. world champion in chess in quite a while. Well, are they world champion? No, they're not world champion. They just won a match.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
This is not a world championship match.
As what?
You think there was enough drama in this match for you all? Right. Do we have mics now, or are we just talking on our own power?
No, we have mics. No, we have mics. The question is, I think that we may have lost some of our roving mics. We'll try to bring those into the audience shortly, at least certainly before the Deep Blue team comes out. We will, of course, be welcoming your comments and questions, and we're expecting them any moment now. I just wanted to say that one of the things that Gary did mention in his press conference, he referred to it quite often, is he double-guessed his own opening work. He said that, look guys, no more Mickey Mousing around, I want to play real openings.
I wonder who these computer experts were that he conferred with.
Well, of course we do know that Frederick Friedel was one of his most influential advisors.
We have to go beyond that, though, Yaz.
Oh, yes. I think there were many. There
were a lot of statements Kasparov made that obviously could be taken different ways. There were a lot of hints and suggestions.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, but what about the statement that he only prepared for 10 days? I mean, what's up with that? These people have been preparing for him for 14 months.
Yes, obviously.
I mean, and that was their only goal. The idea that he could only prepare for a match like this in 10 days and then play those kind of openings.
Yes, again, poor preparation, I would say, in the final analysis by Team Kasparov.
And yet, you wouldn't just get that about game one.
Well, the other thing that was very interesting, and it only started to come out as the press conference went on, and that was you're getting the idea that, hey, Miguel Alescas, Grandmaster from Spain, had been putting a lot of energy for IBM Spain. Joel Benjamin, they hinted, has a number of Grandmaster colleagues here in New York, and how much work did that group of people do? So it's tough. It's conceivable. It sounds like there was a whole group of grandmasters. I must say that I honestly had nothing to do with Deep Blue's preparation. I always wanted to see Gary win this match, and I'm just as stunned as can be that he hasn't in the final result.
Is it such a big deal that grandmasters were helping Deep Blue? I mean, well, it's about teaching Deep Blue how to play better chess. So what's the big deal if they hire a few grandmasters?
It's to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, what?
Well, I mean, to their credit that they did. I must say that many chess computer programmers do not hire grandmasters to teach their programs. They just have the programs do it all themselves. So it's an honor from the IBM research staff to go out and get expert knowledge, and of course it's in their interest to do it. But as far as I'm aware, they only did it for the first time in Philadelphia with Joel.
You know, one thing that struck me is that Gary just seemed to have a single strategy: play strange moves, try to get the computer out of hook. You would think that he'd have an alternative strategy where he'd switch to some other approach, another type of an opening, another type of play, and he didn't try it once in the entire match.
Well, didn't he say that he couldn't prepare his main openings as well because it was just a short match and they didn't really have time to make these adjustments? And yet I hear that and I think that Kasparov has such an incredible repository of knowledge that it's
repertoire, yeah.
You're thinking,